beautiful plant people, how are we today? For those of you that have never met me before, I am Sam from Plant Collector Melbourne, and welcome back to PCM, where today we are going to be doing a repot. And I may have a little secret and a little bit of an announcement to tell you guys, and I don't know while I'm filming this if I've already put it on my social media, but I have something very special to tell you, and that is that I'm engaged! Oh my goodness! Oh my friends, it has finally happened after 12 years of being with my partner Jacob, my best friend, my partner in crime, my biggest supporter in life. He has finally asked me to marry him, and of course, I have said yes. So, my friends, let us get to the repot. Let us go grab all of the things that we need. For those of you that are familiar with the channel, you will know this already, but if you are coming to repot with me, make sure to grab your tea, your coffee, and let's do our chores together. And let me tell you the story of how I got engaged to my best friend and partner, Jacob. Let's go! Hello my friends, we are in our repotting spot. Let us make sure that we have all the things that we could possibly need before we get started and I tell you the story. So we have our media here, but it's looking a little bit low, so I might have to make some more. I'll make sure that you guys can see the repotting. I think I gotta swivel back. I gotta swivel back. We have all of the plants that we are repotting here today. We have our watering can for afterwards. I have my favorite scissors in case we need to snip. We have our clear pots this time around. And of course we have our favorite cocktail of growth technology, which again, if you've never been here before, this is my favorite little cocktail time for the plants to reduce their stress. So put those to the side. Grab more of this, and let me show you the plants that we are going to be repotting today. So we have here this little cutie. He's in normally the grow tent, and he's one that I decided to keep for myself because he was doing these really cool traits. So this is a crystallinum forgetii ? That originated from robin, and it was doing some really cool forgetii things, but I wonder if you guys can see. This leaf has a protruding sinus. Oh, gotta hide my face. So yes, there. He's got a protruding sinus, and I was like, that is so cool. I'm gonna keep you. And the stems are very red. So I do really like this one. So he's in my personal collection. And then we also have this Anthurium watermaliense, which also is one of my favorite anthuriums. I've got a monster of a guy at home, and I have had him root bound for so long, but this guy that's in the store definitely doesn't need to be root bound, so I will be repotting him. Look at those roots. Let me hide my face. Would you look at those roots? So yes, this guy is desperately needing a repot. We have some really gorgeous F2 black sensations, which I got from my friend Jasmine, who is up in Sydney. So 2 black sensations, which I'm super excited to see what they turn out to be. This guy, I don't actually know what he is, but he is some sort of like pappy, cool hybrid thing that she has also made. I'll put Jazz's little Instagram below. Jazz is actually one of the very first people I followed on Instagram, so I like to say that I'm her biggest fan. But yeah, we finally met up for the first time in Sydney when we were up there, and she gifted me these beautiful plants. So I'm very lucky, which means I have to look after them, and they definitely need a repot. So there are those guys. We have this waterburyanum that is like falling out of its pot. So that guy, gorgeous. So he definitely needs a repot. And last but not least, this guy. And so this is a crystallinum hybrid that I got from Haley and Jake, which was originally from Robin. And it is definitely starting to get too big for its pot, that it is starting to fall out of it. Hopefully, I'll show you. You can see that it's totally doing the leany thing. So it was in the grow tent and it was like leaning and actually fell. So it's desperately asking for a bit more support. So we'll definitely give that to him. And before I get started, I think I might make some more of my mix. And I found some extra orchid bark here. So I'm just gonna put some of this guy in. Whee! And that is like the super chunky big stuff. And I'm also going to be putting my favorite thing for anthuriums, which is tree fern fiber. So we're gonna put a little bit of that bad boy. Couple of scoops. And I find that tree fern fiber is more of the water retaining agent, but some people think that it's like super airy. Don't know how much I agree with that, but all I know is that the anthuriums love it. Okay, I think that's enough. We do a bit of a mixy mix. Hold my breath. Whew. Okay, cool. Okay, my friends, I feel like this is like a little catch up for those of you that like, in my life, if I was like, I have something to tell you, and then I was like, Jacob and I are engaged, and this video is pretty much telling you the story of all that has happened. So, for those of you that do not know, Jacob has been the love of my life for the last 12 years. And it was our 12th year anniversary on the 11th of June. And so people kept asking me, is he going to propose soon? Is he going to propose? Do you think he's going to propose on your anniversary? And I legitimately said no to these people. I was like, no. Jacob and I have absolutely talked about this, and that he says that maybe like next year or the year after, and I totally agree, and all this stuff. Anyway, actually, let's go back. Let's go backwards. Jacob and I met in high school. I remember we were in year 9. He would have been like 15 years old. I would have been 16 years old. And we met, and I don't know if it was one of those things that love at first sight things. I don't feel like it was, but I remember being super young and being like, he's kind of cute. And one thing led to another. We became partners then, and even back then, this is gonna sound so corny, but even when I was 16 and when I was with him, I was like, I know that I want to marry him. And even though I would say like, oh, that's just a typical girl's dream to marry like anyone. No. One of my biggest dreams throughout my life was to be a really great partner for him and also to marry him one day. And it is just so wild that after 12 years that we really are like the coolest partner in crime. And I can happily say that I have grown with him throughout all these different years, and that we have like loved each other and grown with each other. And it's so funny because we've gone through all these different like chapters in our lives and have slowly like molded to the people that we have become, and we've kind of like loved each other throughout the whole process. So I think it is super special, yeah, that I get to marry my best friend. I should also really show you guys a close-up of the ring, and I know a lot of you are going to be like, Sam, why don't you take the ring off? And look, you're probably right. I probably should take it off. But before I take it off, I want to show you guys, right? This is like, BFF, let me see the ring. Do you want to try it on? I'll take it off so you can try it on. Here. I'll try and get a better shot for you guys as well. So that is the ring. It is gorgeous, and it is a ruby. So I'm pretty sure, yes, it is a ruby. It is a ruby. And it's actually got a really beautiful story behind it. So this ring is actually Jacob's mum's ring. And she had told me long, long ago that when Jacob proposed, well, both of them told me that he would use his mum's ring. And I just like absolutely adore his mum. So I was like, we have a family heirloom. And every time I wear it, I can think of you and Jacob. So it is a very, very special ring, and I haven't been able to take it off even when I'm like washing dishes. Yesterday we went to a client called Stab Studios and we revamped some plants and repotted some, and I didn't take it off even though I was using it for soil and everything. I just love it so much, and that I try not to take it off. I even wear it to sleep even though I really should take it off. but I will absolutely take it off for this repot. So sadness, but I'll take it off and I'll put it in a safe place. It is a little bit small, so I always find it a little bit troublesome to take it off. But let us put it in a safe place. Okay, so now let's start repotting, and then I can tell you guys what went down in the last week. So a week ago, I was with some girlfriends and we were at Peninsula Hot Springs, and we were just hanging out, having a girls' weekend up there in Rye and Mornington Peninsula. Oh, what has happened here? We have a little bit of root rot. That's no fun. That's no fun at all. Let's put you in a smaller one, in a small clear pot, and put the roots lower. Yeah, that's what we're doing. And I remember my girlfriends asking, is he going to propose? And I was like, no way, there's no way, we've talked about this, he's not gonna propose. And so I was very adamant that he was not going to. So throughout the week, Jacob was giving me subtle hints that were actually not so subtle. And so it was so funny. Let me do some little tappy tappies and sprinkle that bad boy. So my first indication where I was like, suspicious, was when we were at my family's for dinner on like a Monday night, which is very typical for the Roxas household. And I remember that after the hot springs, my nails were looking not so hot. And he saw and he was like, you should go get your nails done. And I was like, Jacob, you never like it when I get my nails done. What's going on here? So that was the biggest indication one. And I was like, Then during the week after dinner at his mum's, I was like, Jacob, this week we are seeing so many of our friends and family. Like, it's too much. And he said under his breath, oh, you'll see. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get engaged. That was pretty much the confirmation where I was like, yep, this is it. This is how it happens. And then on top of that, I think it was on the Friday night, we were on the phone together and I was telling him how I was gonna go shop around. Oh, would you look at those roots? We love it. Healthy, healthy roots. And I remember him saying to me, oh, you definitely should go get your nails done. And I was saying to him, oh, should I? I mean, can I be bothered? Yada, yada, yada. And then he was like, oh, I'll pay them for you. And I was like, you are being so obvious. And that is when I knew. So I knew that he was going to ask. What I didn't know was when. And so we went out to a lovely dinner at a place called Farmer's Daughters. And if you guys are in Melbourne and you are looking for like somewhere really delightful and yummy to eat, it is one of my highest recommendations. It's this gorgeous like Australian restaurant that uses all ingredients that are from Gippsland and from small businesses. So they have a really beautiful ethos. And yeah, so Jacob and I went there to eat, and I really and truly was not expecting him to propose. I thought he was going to propose on our actual anniversary date, which was the 11th, but we went out earlier than that. And so we had finished dinner and we were going home, and we were walking through the Carlton Gardens. And for those of you that don't know, the Carlton Gardens is where we did the Melbourne International Flower and Garden Show in the Royal Exhibition. And we were just outside there. And so we were holding hands and walking through the park and through the gardens. And me being me, I let go of his hand and I started to kick up all the leaves because it is now winter and leaves had fallen. And I may like to let my inner child out, and I was kicking some leaves. And he was like, "Why are you like this?" And I was like, "Because I love being a child." So there I was kicking leaves, and we got to one of the fountains in the Carlton Gardens. And I was ahead of him and telling him a story about how last year at Mifkis, someone had fallen into the fountain. And I was just laughing. And in his head, he was like, "Cool story, but finish it because I gotta ask you to marry me." And he said that he was like super nervous, which I think is super endearing because we've been together for 12 years. Like there's not much that makes me and Jacob nervous, particularly about each other. So I thought that was super sweet. But there he was, and he grabbed my arm because I was like way too far away because I was leaving the premises. I was leaving the fountain. And he grabs my hand, and when I turned around, there he was on his knee with the ring in his hand. And I was so surprised. So it's a yes and no. I was so surprised that he asked me on that day, but I knew that we were going to get engaged at some point, but I really and truly did not think it was that night, right? So I was super surprised. I had so many tears. My makeup went everywhere. And typically I don't wear makeup, but I was like, this is a special occasion. I should wear makeup. No, wrong. I shouldn't have worn makeup. I cried my absolute eyes out, and all I kept saying was like, "Jacob, the ring is so beautiful. I love it so much. It's so beautiful." And I was like, "I love you so much." And he's like, "Are you going to say yes?" I was so surprised that I completely forgot to say yes. And so I was like, "Oh, well, of course, yes." Oh my goodness. So funny. So yes, I said yes. It was really beautiful because Jacob and I had always talked about with the proposal that I personally really wanted it just to be mostly us two. Like I didn't want a crowd. I didn't want other people around too much. And yeah, I just wanted it to be us two. And so that is probably one of the reasons why I thought to myself like, oh, it's not going to be tonight. Because if he was going to ask me, he could ask me at the restaurant, but he knows that I want it to be a little moment between us two. So it won't happen. It won't happen tonight. And then, yeah, we were in the park and he asked, and that is why I was so stinking surprised. And yeah, and then we just went home. We ate too much. We were going to go and get dessert, but I was like, there's no way. I am so full. So we decided just to go home and have it between us. We didn't even like tell our families yet. We told our families. I told my family on, some people on the Sunday. So we got engaged on the Saturday. I told some people on the Sunday, and everyone knew by the Monday. And his family found out on the Tuesday. So it was kind of, it was very sweet that we got to like have that moment just between us two. And this video is probably coming out way later than when we got engaged and I got proposed to. So, but I did know that I definitely wanted to share it with you guys. So that is the story, my friends. You are all up to date with my personal life. And I am so excited. We have talked about what we plan to do for our wedding. There is nothing finalized. I know that as soon as we were telling people that we got engaged, they were so excited. They're like, when's the date? When's the wedding? We have no date. We have no plans other than to get excited and to start planning it at our own pace. Luckily, Jacob and I are not in any rush at all. We do really like the idea of eloping, so that may be in the cards, but we definitely want a big party with all of our loved ones. So what that might look like, I don't know. But yes, that is the story, my friends. How far are we gone with this repotting? I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, and then after this one we have 2 more. So I guess that I can just keep updating you guys with some of my personal life. You know how I like to do my repots. I like to get real personal and tell you guys any updates with my personal life and also with the store and PCM. So I think the black sensations are all sorted after this guy. Yep, looking good. We are in a little bit of a pickle because I don't have, oh, actually, if I put this guy in here, it really won't take long before I have to repot it. Do I do it? I think I need a medium one. Maybe I have to go buy medium ones before I repot this guy. And I think this guy is too big for that waterburyanum. But I do need a bin for this soil. Or do I just put it in here? Actually, it's not bad soil. Whoa. These roots. Look at them roots. They're so fluffy. The cool thing about watermaliense is that their roots are really thick and fluffy. I think all of them end up going like super white and healthy. They're super thick. And you guys know that when I'm repotting to loosen up the soil, this is the easiest way. Okay, I think that's enough. Wow. Wiggle, 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 do, 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 do. Okay. What else do I have to tell you guys? Yeah, no. This is not gonna help the plant. I definitely need it bigger. But I don't have bigger at the moment. Okay, I'm just gonna put you in here and then gonna have to find another pot for you in the future. Sorry, my guy. Sorry, my guy. So I can give you guys a little bit of an update in the what's coming up for PCM, and I'm thinking that I want to do a Christmas in July event because I think that would be super cute for the community to just like do a hot pot and then to like, what's the word? I guess connect. So I'm thinking about doing it like near the end of July. For my Melburnians, if we ended up doing a Christmas in July to like hang out here at PCM and do like a potluck where everyone kind of brings food and hangs out, if you guys would be interested. I genuinely like to know. So this guy, do I dare? Do I just put him in? I feel like that's way too big. Yeah, no, that's way too big. All right, I think I'm gonna leave this waterburyanum for another day because we do not have the right pot for it. Is there anything that I need to trim? I don't think so. Do I trim this leaf? Yeah, I'll trim that leaf. Boop. Bye. We're pretty much done with the repot, my friends. I hope that you guys enjoyed the little story time about Jacob and I getting engaged, that you managed to get some repotting done with me, or that you've just enjoyed relaxing and having a little bit of an update on Sam. So thank you guys so much. Oh, before I go, I forgot. I need to water my plants. And you know what time it is. It's cocktail time. which means that I'm doing my favorite cocktail for the plants that get repotted, and it is the Root Zone from Growth Technology and CCS. And this is for the stress of the plant and giving it its new home with new soil. So we are going to mixy this up and water the plants. So I'm going to organize this BRB. Let's water these guys. Woo. And I'm not going to water too much because it is winter and the plants don't need that much, because it is so cold at PCM here. And I'm going to put the tags back. Boop. Remember there was a watermaliense tag. Where did that go? Is it in here? It sure is. And boop. Okay, I think that's it. Yep, they are all done. Thank you guys so much for watching. This video is a bit of an announcement and a heart-to-heart for all of you that have followed me on my, I guess, PCM journey, but also my personal journey. So I wanted to share it with you and to the world that I get to marry my best friend. Yay! If you guys are enjoying these repots and this personal time, make sure to let me know down below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Mwah!